Peppa Pig Canal Boat. Today, Peppa and George are visiting the dog family to celebrate Captain Dog's birthday.
Hooray!
His cake has a sailing boat decoration on it.
Wow.
Open your present, says Mummy Dog. It's a boat trip, says Captain Dog. That's just what I wanted. Captain Dog puts on his captain's hat and daydreams about their trip. You can go anywhere you want with a sailing boat, says Captain Dog. He imagines sailing to a beautiful tropical island. Then Captain Dog imagines spotting a big blue whale from his sailing boat. He can't wait for the adventure to begin.
Wow!
All aboard! Cries Captain Dog. He tries to raise the sail, but he can't see it anywhere. Canal boats do not have sails. Just push the button to make it start, says Mummy Dog. Oh, I see. Off we go, says Captain Dog. Captain Dog decides to go faster. You should slow down, says Mummy Dog. They are getting close to a mountain. Look out, shouts Peppa. We're going to crash. No, we're going into the tunnel, says Mummy Dog calmly. It is exciting inside the tunnel.
Wow!
It's gone all dark, gasped Danny. And our voices sound funny, says Peppa. This canal boat is fun after all, says Captain Dog. Soon they approach a second mountain. There must be another tunnel, says Captain Dog. Actually, we're going over it this time, says Mummy Dog. We call this a lock. Carefully, Captain Dog stops the boat. Watch, I'll show you, says Mummy Dog. She opens up the gates to the lock. And Captain Dog drives the boat in. Then Mummy Dog closes the lock gates and lets the water pour in slowly from the other side. We're going up, gasped Peppa. The boat is lifted up as the lock fills with water. Mummy Dog opens the gates and Captain Dog drives the boat out of the lock. We're in the sky, shouts Peppa. We're sailing over a bridge, says Danny.
Wow!
I've sailed through the mountains and across the sky, says Captain Dog. This is my best birthday ever. The end. Peppa Pig. Bubbles. Peppa and George are drinking orange juice. Look at all the tiny bubbles, says Peppa. Peppa wants to make bigger bubbles.
Wow!
Peppa and George blow through their straws. Bubble, says George. Peppa and George go into the garden to blow more bubbles. Dip the stick in the bubble mixture, Peppa tells George. Now take a big breath and blow. Peppa blows a big bubble.
Wow!
Next it's George's turn. But he doesn't have enough breath to blow bubbles. Lift the stick and wave it around, says Mummy Pig. Bubble, says George. Now George can make bubbles too. Making bubbles is even more fun if you run along, says Daddy Pig. George runs, waving the wand to make a stream of bubbles. "Wait for me," calls Peppa, chasing him. George is having fun making bubbles, and Peppa is having fun popping them. "I love bubbles," cries Peppa. Peppa and George want to play with bubbles all day. "Oh no," Peppa gasps. "There's no more bubble mixture."
Oh no!
"I have an idea," says Daddy Pig. "Mummy Pig, please bring me a bucket. Peppa, please bring me some washing up liquid. And George, please bring me my old tennis racket." Mummy Pig, Peppa and George give everything to Daddy Pig.
Wow!
Daddy Pig fills the bucket with water, then he adds the washing up liquid. Daddy Pig has made his own bubble mixture. Daddy Pig uses the racket as a giant bubble wand.
Wow!
"Come on, everyone," Daddy Pig cries. Daddy Pig is making lots of bubbles as he runs.
Hooray!
"Don't slip and fall," shouts Mummy Pig. "I'll be fine," says Daddy Pig. But he is running very fast. Oh no! Daddy Pig has fallen over. "Are you all right, Daddy Pig?" asks Mummy Pig. "Yes, I'm fine, thank you. But I've spilt all my bubble mixture. I think it's gone up my nose," says Daddy Pig. The bubble mixture makes Daddy Pig sneeze. "Choo!"
Daddy, you've made the biggest bubble ever!
cries Peppa.
Wow!
"Wow!" says everyone.
But without the bubble mixture, we can't make any more bubbles,
says Peppa sadly. "I have an idea," says Mummy Pig. "The spilt mixture has made a muddy puddle for us to jump in."
The puddle is all bubbly,
gasps Peppa. Everyone loves jumping up and down in muddy, bubbly puddles. The end. Peppa Pig, Peppa's Castle Adventure. Peppa and George are going to visit a castle today. "Maybe we'll see a dragon," says Daddy Pig. "Arr!" says George. George likes dragons.
Only a pretend dragon,
says Peppa.
Dragons are not really real.
Daddy Pig parks the car in the car park. "Welcome to the castle tour," says Miss Rabbit. "Cars are parked at the owner's risk."
What does that mean?
asks Peppa. "Nothing," snorts Daddy Pig. "They always say that in car parks." Mr. Rabbit comes out of the castle. He is dressed in armour like a knight. "The castle tour starts here," he says. "Let's fire the cannon." A cannonball shoots out of the cannon. It flies all the way down to the car park. "Boom! Boom!" giggles George. "This is where the king and queen would sit," says Mr. Rabbit. "It's the throne room."
George can be king and I can be queen, decides Peppa.
May I carry on with the tour, your majesties? Asks Mr. Rabbit.
Yes, giggles Peppa, you may.
Mr. Rabbit opens the door to a secret passageway. It leads to the dining hall. Look at all the food, gasped Daddy Pig.
It's a real banquet,
says Mummy Pig. Peppa picks up a bread roll.
Ugh.
The food is made of plastic. Don't worry, says Miss Rabbit.
Your real banquet is coming.
Miss Rabbit brings in 4 little boxes. Here we are, she cries. Ye olde cheese sandwich with Jester's pickle.
It's a banquet in a box,
cheers Peppa. And now, says Mr. Rabbit, it's time to meet the dragon. Peppa and George climb to the top of the castle. A huge dragon stomps towards them, with Miss Rabbit waving from the top. The dragon is a robot. The robot dragon marches all the way up to the castle. It's nearly crushed our car, splutters Daddy Pig. Cars are parked at the owner's risk, Miss Rabbit reminds him. Cheers George. He loves castles. Everyone loves castles. The end. George's first day at Playgroup. Today is George's first day at Playgroup.
Isn't George too small for Playgroup?
Asked Peppa. You can look after him, says Daddy Pig. Peppa isn't sure she wants George at her playgroup, but she likes the idea of looking after him.
Are you sure George is big enough?
Peppa asks when they arrive. Yes, he'll be fine, replies Daddy Pig.
Okay, he can come,
says Peppa. She holds onto George's hands. Snorts George, jumping up and down. Here is Madame Gazelle, Peppa's playgroup teacher. She looks after Peppa and her friends. Madame Gazelle tells the children that George is coming to play. The children are all very excited about meeting Peppa's little brother.
This is my little brother George,
cries Peppa.
Grrr, dinosaur,
growls George. Everyone laughs.
I wish I had a little brother like George,
buzzes Susie Sheep. George shakes his toy, Mr. Dinosaur, at Madame Gazelle.
Grrr, dinosaur.
Ah, really scary, laughs Madame Gazelle. Peppa is proud of George, making everyone laugh.
George is my little brother. He's brilliant,
she says. Shall we show George how we paint pictures? Madame Gazelle asks the children.
George is not very good at painting, says Peppa, but I can show him how to paint a flower. Watch me, George,
snorts Peppa.
First, you paint a big circle.
Peppa carefully dips her brush into a pot of pink paint and draws a big pink circle right in the middle of her paper. George draws a big green circle.
No, George, that's the wrong colour,
snorts Peppa.
Watch me.
Peppa makes yellow petal shapes.
George paints a green zigzag. George, that's the wrong shape, says Peppa. Peppa admires her flower painting. Perfect, she says happily. George is still painting. Instead of a stalk and leaves, he has painted another circle with 5 lines sticking out from it. You're doing it all wrong, says Peppa. I've painted a flower, says Peppa. Very good, Peppa, smiles Madame Gazelle. And look, George has painted a dinosaur. Madame Gazelle sticks Peppa and George's pictures on the wall. Now it is time to go home. What will you paint next time, George? asked Madame Gazelle. Dinosaur! Giggles George. Everyone laughs. The end.
Peppa Pig, Grandpa Pig's lawnmower. Peppa and George are playing in the garden with their ball. Come on, George, says Peppa, throwing the ball up into the air. The ball lands in some long grass. Peppa and George go to find it. Peppa and George are having lots of fun. But where is the ball? The grass is too long, says Peppa. We'll never find it. Mummy Pig decides that it's time to cut the grass. We've let the garden get out of control, she says. Daddy Pig wheels out the lawnmower. It's a bit old and rusty, says Mummy Pig. Nonsense, says Daddy Pig. Daddy Pig goes to push the lawnmower through the long grass, but it falls apart. Perhaps it's time to phone Grandpa Pig for help, says Mummy Pig. Grandpa Pig drives his motor mower over to Peppa's house. This is a job for Betsy, says Grandpa Pig. Betsy is the name of Grandpa Pig's motor lawnmower.
Wow!
Betsy doesn't go very fast. They are slowing down the traffic. Grandpa Pig toots Betsy's horn proudly. Finally, Grandpa Pig arrives.
Hooray!
He drives Betsy into Peppa's garden. Hello, everyone. I hear there's some grass that needs cutting, says Grandpa Pig. Hello, Betsy, says Peppa. Grandpa, can we ride on Betsy? Of course, says Grandpa Pig. Hop aboard.
Hooray!
Peppa and George climb up onto the motor mower next to Grandpa Pig. Hold tight, says Grandpa Pig. Together they drive into the long grass. Whoosh! Grandpa Pig is having lots of fun. Betsy is very good at cutting grass. Peppa and George are enjoying their ride. Grandpa, you've missed a bit, says Peppa. Good spot, Peppa. What's that over there, says Grandpa Pig. Our ball, cheers Peppa. Hooray! There you go, says Grandpa Pig. Cutting grass is easy with Betsy. Thank you for cutting our grass, Grandpa Pig, says Daddy Pig. And thank you for finding our ball, Grandpa, says Peppa. The end.
Hi kids, did you have fun watching this video? Then like and subscribe for more.